welcome back to the deep dive, where we take all your sources and really get to the heart of things.
Unpack them.
Yeah, unpack them. Today, we are going to be diving deep into the idea of reshaping your reality.
Oh.
So how our past experiences can actually influence our present.
Interesting.
And get this.
Okay.
How we can actually reprogram ourselves for a brighter future.
That is intriguing, isn't it? We are working with a video for this one called Step by Step, How to Quantum Jump into Your Desired Reality Now, led by mindset and manifestation consultant Nakiea Alexander.
Yes, and she's a popular TikToker.
Yes, very much so.
So we're going straight to the source.
Yes, we are.
Of viral wisdom. What really struck me was this idea of programs.
Okay.
These ingrained beliefs and patterns we pick up throughout life.
Right.
Like it's our own personal software running in the background.
Yeah.
And influencing our experiences in love, money, even self-confidence.
I love that analogy of the software. It's really powerful. And, Alexander highlights how these programs aren't just random.
Yeah.
They're embedded in us through specific experiences.
Okay.
And she really kind of points out 3 ways that this happens.
Okay.
Repetition,
okay,
trauma, and those super exciting positive moments that shift our whole perspective.
Yeah. Let's start with repetition because honestly, that's a bit unnerving to me.
Yeah.
She gives the example of a child constantly hearing their parents say, we can't afford that.
Right.
Over time, that simple phrase can become a deeply rooted belief of scarcity even when the child grows up, has their own resources.
It's true.
It's crazy how much we operate from those subconscious scripts that we downloaded in childhood.
Yeah, we were just little sponges, weren't we? It's like our minds were recording everything, even if we weren't consciously aware of it at the time.
What other phrases or experiences have been playing on repeat in our own lives, shaping our beliefs without us even realizing it?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's trauma, which Alexander says sometimes it just takes a single impactful negative event to create a long-lasting belief.
Yeah.
For example, someone might experience betrayal.
Right.
That leads to a deep-seated fear of intimacy, or a business failure.
Oh, yeah.
Creates a fear of taking risks.
It's so crazy because those are such potent examples.
Yeah.
It's almost like these traumatic experiences create a glitch in our system.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're operating from a place of fear and limitation.
Right.
It's like one chapter of our life story becomes the whole narrative.
Yes.
Even though there are so many other chapters yet to be written.
Precisely.
That's true.
And just negative experiences can create those limiting beliefs.
Right.
Positive ones can have the opposite effect.
Yes.
Alexander talks about those super exciting moments like winning the lottery. That can instantly rewrite those internal scripts and open us up to a world of possibility.
Those are the moments when we realize,
wow,
anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
It's like we get a glimpse of our true potential.
Yeah.
And suddenly those old limitations just seem to melt away.
That's right. And what's so fascinating about this is that all 3 of these pathways, repetition, trauma, and those peak experiences, are essentially different forms of programming.
Yeah.
And what Alexander really wants us to understand is that we have the power to consciously choose the programs we want to run.
Wait, so we're not just stuck with whatever programming we've inherited.
No.
We can actually change the code.
We can change the code. That's where it gets really exciting because Alexander argues that we're not just products of our past.
Right.
We are creators.
Wow.
And she outlines 4 creative tools that we can use to shape our reality.
Okay, let's unpack these tools because it sounds like we've been given this incredible power.
We have.
But maybe we haven't really been taught how to use it.
Yeah.
Starting with thinking.
Okay.
Alexander emphasizes that our thoughts literally sculpt our reality.
Yes.
And she even gives these vivid examples.
She does.
Of how just thinking about an argument versus thinking about an intimate moment can create totally different physical sensations in our bodies.
It's true.
It's wild.
It really is a reminder that our thoughts aren't just these abstract concepts. They have a real tangible impact on our being.
Yeah.
And if we can feel the effects of our thoughts so strongly, imagine the power we have when we intentionally direct them towards our desired outcomes.
It's almost like we're training our minds to create the reality we want rather than letting those old programs just run on autopilot.
That's right.
But it's not just about thinking right.
No, it's not.
Alexander also talks about the power of speaking.
Yeah.
Our desires aloud.
Out loud.
It's like taking that thought and giving it momentum, sending it out into the universe.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there are actions.
Okay.
The physical steps that we take to align our behavior with our intentions.
Oh.
It's about showing the universe that we're serious.
Okay.
About manifesting these desires.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
No.
It's about putting in the work and taking inspired action.
Yes.
Okay. And finally, we have emotions.
Yes.
The fuel that powers our manifestations.
That's right.
Alexander points out that our emotions influence how our message is received.
Yes.
By others and by the universe itself.
Yes. It's like our emotions are the amplifier, strengthening the signal we're sending out.
Got it.
So if we're trying to manifest abundance,
right,
but we're feeling fearful and scarce,
it's
going to be much harder than if we approach it with feelings of joy, gratitude, and excitement.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
Right.
It's about cultivating positive emotions as well.
That's right.
Gotcha. Alexander stresses that it's crucial to use all 4 tools in alignment with our desired reality.
Yes.
It's about creating synergy between our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings.
Exactly. And it all begins with setting clear intentions for the person we want to become, rather than just focusing on material things.
Interesting.
I love how Alexander illustrates this with her own intention for finding a partner.
Okay.
Instead of just focusing on attracting a husband,
right,
she set the intention of becoming the kind of partner she wanted to attract. Loving, nurturing, confident.
That's such a powerful shift.
It is.
It's about embodying our desires rather than chasing after them from a place of lack.
That's right.
You know, if you are interested in learning more about embodying your desires and empowering yourself, remember to visit whereelwinning.com for additional resources and guidance on reprogramming your reality.
It's a great resource, but hold on. Our deep dive continues. We'll be exploring how to navigate that momentum shift.
That comes with reprogramming.
Yeah.
Tangible examples of manifestation in action, and much more, so stay tuned. So we've established that, like, we're not just passengers on this journey of life.
Right.
We are actually in the driver's seat. You know, we are equipped with these powerful, creative tools.
Right. But what happens when we decide to switch gears? Like to reprogram those deeply ingrained patterns that have been running our lives on autopilot.
That's where the rubber meets the road, you know. Alexander acknowledges that it can be a challenge. Kind of comparing it to finishing one chapter in a book before moving on to the next.
Right.
It's this concept of momentum.
Right.
Even when we consciously decide to change those old patterns, can still have a really strong pull.
It's true. It's like turning a massive ship around. It takes time.
It does.
Effort and consistent course correction.
You got it.
Alexander encourages us to keep our eyes on the prize. Using the analogy of an artist creating a large mural.
They don't get discouraged by the empty canvas or the initial messy stages.
Right.
They trust the process and keep painting stroke by stroke.
That is a great way to put it. It's a journey, not a quick fix. It's about trusting that those consistent efforts, even when we don't see immediate results, are creating a foundation for that new reality.
Alexander also demystifies this whole idea of manifestation by breaking down how something as simple as a nail file started as a thought and became a tangible object through those 4 creative tools.
It's a great example.
It's easy to get caught up in the mystical side of manifestation.
Right.
But she brings it down to earth with practical steps we can all take.
I love that she chose something as ordinary as a nail file
to
highlight this. You know, it emphasizes the fact that everything we see around us, from skyscrapers to smartphones, started as a thought in someone's mind. Powerful reminder that we all have that same creative potential within us.
It really is mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It is.
Alexander also shares a very relatable story about how she used to speak to her future husband out loud. Even though they were living in different states at the time. Unknowingly aligning their energies.
And what's even more remarkable is that without even realizing it, they were both preparing themselves for that future relationship.
Oh, wow.
She even mentions that her future mother-in-law was a prayer warrior.
Wow.
Praying for her son's future marriage during that same period.
It's like all these unseen forces were working in harmony to orchestrate their meeting.
I know, it's wild.
It's a beautiful example of how when we set intentions and use our creative tools, the universe can conspire to support us in ways we can't even imagine. But I'm curious, what about those times when we're feeling stuck, struggling with our current reality, how do we break free from those old patterns that just seem to keep repeating?
That's a great question, and Alexander offers some very practical guidance on this.
Okay.
Remember those 3 ways that programs get embedded?
Okay.
Well, she reminds us we can use those same principles to reprogram ourselves.
Okay.
So we've already talked about repetition,
right?
Using those creative tools consistently to overwrite those old patterns. But she also points out that we can intentionally seek out those exciting, positive experiences that reinforce our new beliefs.
So it's like we're not just changing our internal dialogue.
Yes.
We're creating external experiences that align with those new beliefs.
That's right. For example, if someone wants to move away from a scarcity mindset around money, they might start treating themselves to small luxuries. Taking workshops on financial abundance, or connecting with people who have a healthy relationship with money.
That's great.
You see, it's about curating an environment that supports that new reality that we're working towards.
I like that.
Alexander also emphasizes, recognizing and addressing the momentum of those old patterns. Remember the book analogy?
Yeah.
We need to allow those old chapters to close before we can fully step into those new ones.
So it's acknowledging that there might be some lingering effects from those old programs.
Yeah.
Even as we're working on diligently reprogramming.
Absolutely.
For example, someone who's working on healing from a traumatic experience might still have those moments of anxiety or fear, even as they're making progress on their healing journey.
Absolutely. And that's where patience and self-compassion are really crucial. It's about trusting the process and understanding that real transformation takes time.
That's true.
And remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, Alexander's website, whereallwinning.com, offers a treasure trove of resources and support to help you navigate this journey of reprogramming.
That's awesome. But here's another piece of wisdom Alexander offers. For genuine transformation, we often need to loosen our grip on specific outcomes. And surrender to a bigger picture.
Yes.
Trusting that the universe has a plan for us that might even exceed our wildest dreams.
That's a powerful reminder, isn't it?
It is. It's about releasing that tight hold on how things should be and opening ourselves up to possibilities that might be beyond our current perspective.
I love that. It's like saying to the universe, I trust you. Show me what's possible.
And often when we approach manifestation from that place of surrender and trust, we find that the results are beyond anything we could have orchestrated on our own.
It's true, but here's the key. Surrender doesn't mean passively waiting for things to happen. It's about taking inspired action, aligning our energy with our desires, and then trusting that the universe will handle the details in a way that serves our highest good.
It's that beautiful dance between effort and allowing.
That's right.
We do our part, and then we trust the universe to do its part.
Exactly. But how does this all play out in the real world?
Right.
Alexander shares some incredible examples of tangible manifestations, like the nail file we talked about earlier. But she also applies this principle to all areas of life, from relationships and careers to health and well-being.
And one of the most compelling examples she shares is her own love story.
Yes.
She talks about spending years in toxic relationships.
Yes.
Carrying the weight of, I'm not lovable, from her childhood.
It's heartbreaking to hear about the pain she went through, but it's also so inspiring to see how she broke free from that pattern and created the loving, fulfilling relationship she has today.
And it all started with her decision to reprogram her beliefs about love.
Yes.
She shifted her focus from finding a husband to becoming the kind of partner I want to attract.
That's a game changer right there.
It is.
It's about embodying what we desire rather than chasing it from a place of lack.
Right. And that shift in her mindset opened up a whole new world of possibilities for her.
Absolutely. It allowed her to attract a partner who was truly aligned with her values.
Right.
And ready to co-create a healthy, loving relationship.
It wasn't just about attracting the right person.
Right.
It was about becoming the right person.
That's right.
She talks about doing a lot of inner work to heal those old wounds and cultivate the qualities she wanted to bring to the relationship.
It's a great reminder that manifestation isn't just about wishing and hoping.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility for our own growth and evolution.
That's true.
And sometimes it's about recognizing that the universe brings us challenges and experiences that push us to become the best versions of ourselves.
Alexander's story really highlights the transformative power of intentional reprogramming.
It does.
It's proof that we can break free from even the most deeply ingrained patterns and create a reality that reflects our truest desires.
Her story is a powerful message for all of us, reinforcing the idea that we are not defined by our past.
Right.
We are the architects of our future.
It's incredible to see how she took control of her own narrative and manifested a reality that once seemed impossible.
It is.
But here's a question that's been swirling in my mind.
Okay.
Is this just about personal transformation?
Uh-huh.
Or can this concept of reprogramming be applied to create positive change on a larger scale?
That's a great question, and that's actually something that Alexander addresses directly.
Okay.
She really believes that the principles of intentional reprogramming have the power to shift not just individual lives, but the world around us.
It's a powerful idea. Imagine a world where everyone is consciously using their creative tools to manifest a more loving, sustainable reality.
Alexander emphasizes that we all have a role to play in this collective transformation.
Okay.
She encourages us to use our voices and platforms to spread these empowering messages and inspire others to become conscious creators.
So it's not just about our own personal growth.
Right.
It's about creating a ripple effect.
Yes.
That inspires others to step into their own power.
Exactly. And it all starts with awareness.
Okay.
We need to recognize those ingrained programs, those subconscious beliefs and patterns that have been shaping our experiences, both individually and collectively.
And once we're aware of those programs, we can start to question them.
Yes.
Challenge them and ultimately rewrite them.
Yes.
Using those 4 creative tools.
That's right. Thinking, speaking, actions, and emotions.
It all boils down to choice.
It does.
We have the power to choose the programs we want to run.
We do.
Not just in our own lives, but in the world around us.
In the world around us.
It's about realizing that we're not passive bystanders.
Right.
We're active participants in shaping the reality we experience.
Absolutely.
And the tools for change are within us, accessible right here, right now.
Oh, I love that.
We don't have to wait for some external event or circumstance to shift our lives or the world.
We have the power.
We have the power to create that shift ourselves.
It's empowering to think about, isn't it? That we're not victims of circumstance, but rather co-creators of our reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Alexander reminds us that we're not in this alone.
That's right.
We have the support of the universe guiding and supporting us every step of the way. It's about trusting that bigger picture.
Yeah.
That there's a plan unfolding that's far grander than we can comprehend.
Trusting the process is key. And if you're ready to dive deeper into this world of intentional reprogramming and explore how you can use your creative tools to shape your reality, I highly recommend checking out Alexander's website, we'reallwinning.com.
Okay.
It's full of resources, guidance, and inspiration to support you on this transformative journey.
As we wrap up this deep dive into reprogramming our reality, we want to leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
What area of your life are you ready to transform? What limiting belief are you ready to release?
Yeah.
How can you begin using your thinking, your speaking, your actions, and your emotions to manifest the reality you truly desire?
It's a great question.
Take some time to reflect on these questions.
Yeah.
And start taking those initial steps toward creating a life that aligns with your soul's purpose.
I love that.
Remember, you are a creator.
Yes, you are.
And the power to shape your reality lies within you.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
And thank you to all our listeners. We'll catch